right, these are just some random stories that I thought you might find interesting. Some of them made me laugh. Some of them made me say, what? And some of them made me say, oh, no. The first one has to do with something they are doing in the White House in preparation for President-elect Biden. Yes, they're looking at security measures. They're looking at health and safety. They are going to probably be sanitizing the White House from the top down. Did you hear this? Somebody else is claiming they went to a White House Hanukkah party and they now have COVID. COVID has been running around the White House. And so they may go through some extreme measures to get it sanitized before the next group of people go in. And along that, they are spending a whopping $44,000 on carpet cleaning for the White House. $44,000. It's tagged in the budget as, quote, inauguration carpet cleaning. It's unclear how many rooms will have fresh carpeting. So I guess they're cleaning carpets and they're replacing carpets. And I don't know if it's to get rid of COVID or to get rid of the strange orange hue that's developed on the shag carpets. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. All right, the next one. If you are, I love tech. Many of you started watching my show when I was on KSL News Radio and a show called The Browsers. And we were following drone news. Well, this just released by the FAA that starting in 2023, you won't be able to fly most drones in the U.S. without broadcasting the drone's location and your location. You will, however, soon be able to fly at night and over people. But it may be illegal for you to fly some drones at all unless you retrofit them with their own broadcasting equipment. They're going to require every new mass-produced drone weighing over 0.55 pounds to broadcast a location of the drone and the broadcaster. The FAA is calling it a digital license plate. And I have no idea how much of an expense that is going to add. Sarah says, wow, $44,000 to get rid of the orange hue on the carpets in the White House. Yeah. Sorry, I really try and refrain. I've probably made 3 orange jokes over the last 5 years. But even me, even JayMac, sometimes I have to give in. And then finally this gem. Tesla has a new update out for its owners that will allow them to change the sound of their horn, and not just their horn, but the sound the car makes while it drives by, to some very interesting noises. And I do not like this idea at all.
But the big improvements really come into Toy Box. Let's take a look here. Here under the new one is called Boombox. Entertain a crowd with your media player when you're parked. You can adjust the sounds your car makes. Please check local laws before you use it in public places. You can add up to 5 custom sounds. Connect a USB key or device with a directory named Boombox. So now we can actually change the horn sound. This is the feature that everybody's been asking for some time now, be able to play a sound. So let's try Posh. And I can actually replace the horn with this. So let me just play the sound real quick.
Well,
There we go. We'll try some other ones like Goat. Let's see here. La Cucaracha. Oh, yes.
Oh, stop.
Okay. Oh, it's playing outside the car. But I can also replace the horn sound now. So if I press the horn on my car, it's actually playing outside the car. Let me put the window down. Maybe you guys can hear that again. Let's try that with that. There you go. So I have the speaker in my car because it's a September build of 2019. That's when the car started having that speaker. So that's kind of fun. We now have a driving sound, so we can play a bunch of different ones. Here's your Snake Jazz. That's a reference, of course, to S&P 500 inclusion. Okay, that's a little bit loud. Maybe I'll turn that down so that doesn't blow your ears out. Polynesian elevator music. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Let's try rock and roll. Oh, that's kind of fun. And then, of course, you can turn on summon, and you can play a different sound when you're in summon mode. So, of course, we can play, where was it here? I saw coconuts here for a second ago. Let's try Caribbean.
Great. So the idea is that Teslas don't make any noise when they go down the street. They're completely silent. And that's dangerous for pedestrians and for bike riders and even other cars, because you don't make any sound and you don't realize how much we use sound when we're determining whether or not it's safe to go and those types of things. So there's been a lot of talk for over a decade now about what kind of sound should be required for your car to make. Like, for example, if somebody has a hearing issue or something, or if somebody, not a hearing issue, I'm sorry, if somebody is blind, for example, and they're relying on the sounds of the vehicles, there's a huge safety issue here, right? So, again, this debate's been going on. What do you require the cars to sound like? So Tesla, using their technology, they put speakers on the outside of their car, and they've decided to allow your vehicle, as it's just driving down the road, to play music out for everybody else. And you heard some of the examples there. And I think this is the most obnoxious thing. It does have a cool boombox mode. Like if you're having a parking lot dance party and we're not in a pandemic, your vehicle could actually be, without rolling the windows down or anything like that. It has the external speakers on it. That's kind of cool if you're ever going to do that. But the idea that you can just assign any of these signs, and did you hear the one thing? He kind of glazed over it. One of the sounds that they're offering up for your horn is a fart sound. Yeah, that's fantastic. Sarah says, oh my goodness, can you imagine the noise pollution? I know. And Grace says, mine sounds like a dying sick moose. Again, I know that the vehicles have to have some type of sound, but to allow them to broadcast, and he did say that you have to check with local laws to find out if it's going to be legal for you to be broadcasting La Cucaracha as you drive down the street. To me, that sounds pretty obnoxious. Not a fan. Those are the did you hear about this stories that I had for you tonight. I thought I saw some other questions. This is Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Think of a horn that does not sound like a horn. Accidents just waiting to happen. Another great point. We're used to the sound of a horn. And if suddenly you hear a giant fart noise, then you may not respond to the fart in the same way that you respond to the horn. Very good point, Nathan. Very, very good point.